Hey, Sasha,
Hi,
welcome
Faryl.
to Beyond the Walls with Faryl podcast. You are our very first sponsor interview, and I am so happy that it's you.
Same. Thank you. Thank you for
Of
having me.
course. And for the listeners that do not know about your firm, I wanted to give you an opportunity to introduce yourself.
Yeah. So the firm sponsor, I have two different firms, but that's a little confusing. But the firm sponsor is called Begum Pelaez Prada, and we're a business law firm. So we do everything from corporate restructurings. We have estate planning. We do corporate governance services where we make sure your company is in good standing and all of that good stuff.
Yes, and just to make sure we cover everything, you do personal injury law as well.
So yeah, me and my partner set up a separate law firm. It operates under the brand the Crash Angels, and we do personal injury, birth injuries, personal injury, car accidents, work injuries, mid-mal.
And how long has your firm been practicing in San Antonio?
Begum Pelaez Prada will be 10 years this June.
Congratulations! What made you pursue a legal career, particularly personal injury and business law?
Business law, I kind of fell into it. I did this dual degree program with my law school in DC where I went to Europe to study law for the European Union. So I came back with a degree to practice law in Europe. And then I got my JD in the States all at the same time. And I started my career in the big law firms. And they just because it was like off track on the way they usually hire their associates, they just had an open position in the transactional law section, which is like business, corporate. And so that's kind of, they tracked me. It was job opportunity, I guess.
So I know you're originally from Brownsville, Texas. How long have you been in San Antonio?
So I left for college and for law school and all that. And I came back to San Antonio in 2013.
Well, I just love how your firm embraces our community in such multifaceted approaches, not just with legal representation, but beyond the courtroom as well, including projects like ours. So I'm curious to know, what was it about the Wild and the Familiar art show that made you lean in and decide to sponsor this exhibit?
Well, you've introduced me to John Bramlett's work, and I always thought, I mean, he's just amazing. The fact of what he's able to accomplish, I guess, with his disability or different abilities. And then I met him and I heard him speak, and it's just, he's so inspiring.
Yes, I agree totally. And for those joining the conversation a little late, John Bramblett is the talented artist behind the Wild and the Familiar art exhibit that we recently showcased at the Greller Gallery, which of course was also sponsored by Begum Pelaez Prada. John is a Texas-based artist who is also blind, so he has this extraordinary story and a remarkable talent. And if there's ever a show to support, it is certainly one of his, because working with John is truly an unforgettable experience. The Wild and the Familiar exhibit featured about 25 pieces where John creatively depicted Texas wildlife engaging in everyday familiar activities that we do as people, such as backyard barbecues, strolling through the streets, camping, and even doing laundry. The show was vibrant and playful and incredibly whimsical. And I'm curious, Sasha, about how you felt when you first encountered the show. What was your impression of the exhibit?
My impression was the colors, the textures, it was so cool. And yes, like the juxtaposition of like these massive animals in front of like a graffiti wall. Really cool.
Oh, I agree. When you see John's art, it's so hard to comprehend how he accomplishes what he does, especially given his visual impairment. Because so many of us that can see struggle to, draw a simple stick figure. So it's incredible to witness what John has achieved. I know that when you attended the opening, you purchased a few pieces, and I believe you got some prints as well as a painting from the actual exhibit. And I'd love to hear more about the purchases and why you chose those particular pieces.
Yeah, here's this one. I bought three prints for our office, and
Mhm.
here's one.
And what was it about that piece that made you want to buy it?
Yeah, so we are an all-female firm, and art is really important to our firm too. And it gives a personality to a space, and I
Yeah.
think it reflects what you're trying to portray. I think to every client that comes in the door, we want them to feel a certain way, and we intentionally made all of our walls white so that
Mhm.
we would had the art do the talking, I guess.
Yeah.
And this one just made me feel happy. And I have two others that I bought that are strong women that he also painted.
Mhm.
And that's kind of so because we are an all women firm, we have like strong female characters throughout our firm. So
I think it's great that art holds significant value for your firm and that y'all consider the experience you want your clients to have based on the artwork displayed on your walls. What emotions are you aiming for? Is it joy, seriousness, or happiness?
yeah, we have clients coming in, with all sorts of different issues.
Mhm.
On the personal injury side, some of the stuff that we see is, it's heart-wrenching and sometimes I truly have to hold back tears. On the business side, there it's a little bit less emotional, but at the same time, people are entrusting their businesses and their livelihood to me. And what I'm helping them do, hopefully, I like to take an idea and turn it into a company basically with my clients, like helping them achieve their goals and basically what they're working for. And so, yeah, with the art, I want to portray number one, we're strong,
Mhm.
obviously. So, you can come in and feel like you're going to be protected from that point of view. But at the same time, we want the colors and everything to put people at ease to know they're going to get that comforting hand to know that we'll handhold them if they need it and get them through whatever it is that they're getting through.
It's actually very similar to what we are doing at the Greller Gallery. Since the gallery is situated within an animal hospital, we often encounter visitors who are experiencing highly stressful situations. So it's an emotional atmosphere, and just like the firm, the hospital walls are intentionally painted white to allow us to enhance the space with vibrant art. So the goal for us is to create an environment that can uplift and inspire and soothe someone's stress while they wait in the lobby for their sick animals. So in a sense, we are both striving to achieve the same goal, just for different audiences. And so I really appreciate what you guys are doing. Can you tell me a little bit more about the art you have at the firm? Like, is there a favorite piece, or is there one that's like front and center so that every client sees it?
Well, it's funny you say that. So my partner Juanita Pelaez and I coming together was a no-brainer.
Mhm.
Fighting our office space was a no-brainer. We were all both kind of on the same page. What honestly took us the longest was finding the first piece of art that we wanted to put on our wall. At that point, it was just the business firm. We hadn't started the Crash Angels yet. And the same thing we wanted at that point, we wanted something strong and fierce. And so we, we bought it's like this 7 foot tall portrait of this woman with horns that now we look at her and she she kind of looks like Maleficent.
Wow. So you purchased this 10 years ago. Let's just say, maybe our taste of art can change over the years.
Yes, our taste evolved. We now have more color. That was black and white, and she was big. And throughout the years, like I contemplated, you know, putting like some spray paint of pink or red or give it something, some color or pop to it. But it's really funny because my partner intentionally will use it sometimes in mediations or depositions and have like this woman behind her that kind of is strong and has big horns.
Has art always played an important role in your life?
Yes. So my mother is an artist,
Mhm.
and so I grew up around always her studio. She's always had a studio, and she's always exploring with different techniques and different things. The same with my house. We have to fill it with art, my mom's art that we find along the way. Yeah, yes, it has always been a big part of my life. And I remember like summers, I'd come home from law school or from college, and my mom and I would spend like 12 hours, 20 hours. They would go on forever, and then we'd realize what time it was. But we'd be in the studio together, and she would be teaching me how to paint. And I never had her talent or anything, but our days would just get lost together, chit chatting and painting and just
Mhm.
having a nice time together.
We had talked a little bit about the prints you purchased at the Greller Gallery. What about the painting from the Wild and the Familiar exhibit? It was called Don't Mess with Texas. Tell me a little bit about why you purchased this piece. And if I remember correctly, that wasn't the original one you wanted. I think you wanted the rhino, but that had already been sold, so you went for the other one, Don't Mess with Texas. Tell me a little bit about why you chose that piece and where it's hanging now.
Yeah, I wanted the right note. My husband, since the moment he saw this Don't Mess with Texas one, he loved it.
Okay.
Um, it's hanging in his little office at our house. It just goes really well. But it just moved him. I don't know. He's a seventh generation Texan, and he just thought it was so whimsical and it's basically it's a billboard that says "Don't mess with Texas," and it's a goat eating at the corner of it.
Hmm.
Um, kind of like on a road,
Yeah.
empty, I guess, in a field. Colors are really cool, and they're so bright. And his office is like all dark wood, and so you walk in, and it just really pops.
Yeah. And if I recall correctly, the painting was a surprise gift for the holidays.
Yes, it was a surprise. I gave it to him for Christmas.
Cool. Were there any other pieces from the exhibit that particularly resonated with you?
The bunny and the washateria was really cool too.
Yeah, that one was definitely one of my favorites too. It was called Neon Rinse, and that piece actually sold as well. I think it really resonated with a lot of people, also the rhino. Both of those did. I mean, the whole exhibit was phenomenal. But Neon Rinse was so vibrant and had this very cool retro neon vibe to it. It was fun and it was colorful. And when you looked at it, it just kind of made you happy. And it also made you wonder, like, how did John create this? But he did, and that's what makes him the amazing, extraordinary artist that he is. The next question I want to ask really focuses more on your firm's engagement with the community and its service initiatives. What do you believe is the role for San Antonio businesses in terms of supporting each other and participating in local activities? For example, could you explain why you chose to sponsor the Wild and the Familiar art show and why community involvement is important to you and your firm?
When we first started the firm, Juanita and I had made a commitment that we wanted to be big supporters of our community, and of different organizations that we believed in. For example, Juanita's mother is the executive director of the Battered Women and Children's Shelter. Juanita was on the board of the Battered Women and Children's Shelter. I was on the board of the American Heart Association, and of the World Affairs Council. And so we do these things because giving back to the community and being a part of the community is part of developing trust, and because it's also really important to us. When we first started the firm, the Begum Pelaez Prada, we started this campaign. It was called the 5 over 5K campaign. And so we chose several charities, and basically we donated a percentage of the legal fees on behalf of our clients to different organizations. And we gave every year, we chose a different one. So interestingly, a lot of companies chose to do that, but it was important for us. And so why we chose the Greller Gallery, I love what you do. You're my friend. I think your family, you're all amazing. And what you're doing for local artists, because my brother-in-law, my husband's brother, is also an artist. And I think they need a lot of champions in a community. And they
Definitely.
bring a benefit to the community. I mean, they bring beauty, right? They bring just, we just talked about the feeling that it creates going into a room.
Hmm.
So I think it's really important to support particular artists and organizations that give or help these artists and to highlight them.
I agree, and we are truly grateful to have you on board. Our sponsors are essential to the mission at the Greller Gallery and contribute in many ways, not only financially, but also through collaboration, back end assistance, such as marketing and outreach efforts. From our perspective, like, it truly takes a village to ensure that everything runs smoothly. And sponsors like Begum Pelaez Prada are a vital piece to the success of each exhibition. So, I just want to take this opportunity right now to say thank you again for your support and for believing in what we do and for partnering with us. Is there anything you would like to close with that you would like our listeners to know about your firm or your support for the artists? Any final remarks?
I encourage everybody to check out your shows.
Oh, definitely. I can absolutely help you with getting the word out. What about you guys? How do you find you online? What are some of your socials, like your websites, so our listeners can learn more about your firm and reach out if they need help?
Yeah, our business firm is B, bp-plaw.com. That's our website. You can find me, Sasha Begum, on LinkedIn. I post there all the time, all sorts of business tips, and ways to operate or start your business, just all sorts of things that I've learned in my 20 years of experience. And the personal injury firm, just Google Crash Angels or find us on Instagram at Bring It Law. is our Instagram handle.
Great. And we will also put all that information in the description so people can refer to that as well. Thank you, Sasha, for taking a few minutes out of your busy schedule to join me today. It means so much, and I truly value our friendship and all the support you've provided over the years, and with this latest exhibit. So thank you again.
Thank you for having me.